Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Most people are not willing to work hard, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that. I'm not judging you if you don't want to work hard. Just fuck you if you're going to complain about it. That's what I have a problem with. That's the lazy, ambitious group, and they're scary as hell. They want everything, but they're not willing to work for anything, right? Because they'll do things that'll destroy the golden goose to try to get what they want now. So it's okay if you don't want to work hard. I'm totally okay with that. Hey, you want to go fucking live on the beach and live off the land and fucking pedal to get shit? Great. That could be your lifetime. That's what you want to do. There is zero judgment in my heart. Just don't ask the world to change to fit your fucking lifestyle.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, my coffee bean. What is bacon? Well, good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. You're probably saying, TikTok, Betty, TikTok. What the hell? Yeah, don't worry about it. It happens. Happy Tuesday, y'all. You know, I'm telling you, we got something crazy going on in the water. We got something. I don't know if you guys noticed my thumbnail. I don't know if you guys noticed it. I should have put another thumbnail up there. Should have put them both together, right? Brian Koberger and BTK, team Brian Koberger and BTK, BK and BTK, right? And then we got team Happy Face and Lisk, Rex HEUERMANN. So we got team Happy Face and Rex HEUERMANN and team BT and BTK, or BK and BTK. Weird stuff, right? Weird stuff. What's going on? What's going on? We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Good morning. It's me, Jen.
Warning, bullshit alert.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. I know, it's one of those days. Good morning, the real me too. It's nice to see you up in the house. Sonia is in the house as well. Do not forget to reach out to Sonia. Sonia has got all those great custom gifts that you need for your family. So reach out to her, get your shirt, get your hat, get your cup. You want something else? I'm sure she can do it. You need some custom gifts, Sonia, call. Our resident custom creator. And she's doing amazing videos too. So don't forget to go sub up her YouTube channel too. If you don't sub up Sonia's YouTube channel, well, you just ain't part of the coffee club. Go sign up. Good morning. Donna is up in the house. It's nice to see you, Love Bug. If you guys have not gone out there and thumbed up this live, please consider doing so. Devil Doll is up in the house. Shannon is with us today. We have Sweet Misery. And I'm telling you, our Sweet Misery, I was about to be in misery because I was ready to call and kick her off Turtle Island. Team player, right? Jeez, Betty, wake up, right? Wake up. Lady 7 Up, good morning. Oh, my baby, my sweetie. Hi. You guys don't know. If you guys miss Lee, mom of 3, I got to tell you, her husband, she almost got a divorce because of Bullhorn Betty. She almost got a divorce. Her husband's sitting there, what are you doing? She's like, Betty. He's like, well, what the hell's going on, lady? Are you married to me or are you married to Bullhorn Betty? You got to figure it out. So I think they went to marriage counseling, and now instead of me being the entree, I'm now the side piece. So we're happy to have you here. I'll keep you covered. We'll make sure your husband don't know. We'll make sure he doesn't know you're back with me. I'm just joking. Good morning. Jody, it's nice to see you this morning. Good morning. Maddie Down, Pink Bow, it's nice to see you. Hindsight 2020. Who do we have here? What's going on here? What is this? Babe, where you been, love? It's nice to see you. Good morning. MJ, good morning. We're always having fun over here, aren't we? It's nice to see everybody. Let me see if I missed anybody. Oh, Crystal Lynn, good morning, love. Good morning. It's nice to see you. Oh, Rose in the house. Look at that. We got Waffle Head. Never heard you from before, but hey, we could use some waffles, right? We got a chicken head here. Why not a waffle head? Now we got chicken and waffles. There you go. Look at that. Oh, Waffle Head doesn't like Bullhorn Betty. Oh, just so sad. And we were such a great combination, babe. Like, we were such a great combination. Why? Now you're separating the waffle from the chicken. Pretty soon you don't even want syrup. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Really? It's Tuesday morning. Don't you have some love? You're a waffle. You're sweet and warm. And you're supposed to be all soft on the inside. What's up, Waffle Head? Really? You're breaking my heart. You're breaking Betty's heart. I like happy Betties, but if you want to be a butthurt Betty, well, you know, say la vie. Enjoy your day. Butthurt Betty is never a happy Betty. She really isn't. She's butthurt. I'd rather be a happy Betty than a butthurt Betty. Just saying, Waffle. You got decisions to make this morning. Decisions to make. Positive vibes, as always. We love it. Good morning. Good morning. Who else do we have? Who else do we have I can pick on in this room? I Am Team Summer. We haven't picked on I Am Team Summer in a while, right? Let's pick on I Am Team Summer. I Am Team Summer is a very good mod. We love I Am Team Summer. Don't forget to tell all our beautiful mods in the chat, thank you for letting us have a beautiful and wonderful time on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We know sometimes it's challenging, right? I attract attention. Didn't I tell you that there's a reason why I don't date, right? Why don't I date? Because I attract the crazies, right? Well, in my life, apparently I attract them too. I guess I just have the crazy magnet. Maybe I'm the crazy train that people bump into. Oh, yeah. Just Debbie, good morning. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you, Rhonda. Good morning. 1 month member. Yay! I'll even throw you a kiss since I almost kicked you off the turtle. That's from me to you. That's from me to you. All right. Who else do we have? Green Goblin's up in the house. Now here's some of my late bloomers. We got Green Goblin. We got Second Thesis. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. It's nice to see. Oh, look here. Look, what do we have? We have. Did I tell you that I wanted to, that my bucket list item is a vintage car? You know the box that people don't realize, they think you have to go out and buy like an old timey car and restore it and stuff. They don't realize you can buy these kits, right? They're kits. And I have a dream of putting a vintage car together, a vintage car kit. It's a brand new car. It's just a vintage. It comes in a box, right? It costs a lot of money, and then you got to put it all together, and it kind of sucks, but it's fun. A sucky fun time. Crafty Chris, nice to see you. Colette, it's nice to see you. Everybody else that's up in the house that I missed, including our Waffle Head. Waffle Head, this is a big shout out to you. You know what? Us over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we all say, why can't we all just get along? Why? Why can't we just get along? I'm not missing some love. I got a lot of love, man. I got a big old heart. You know what, Waffle? I'll cut my heart in half and I'll give you half of it so we can make you a whole heart. My half heart is so big because my whole heart is so big, I can lose half of it and give it to you. It'll change your life. Change your life. It does good to do good. Just saying, Waffle Head. You might want to try it.
That was bullshit.
Just saying. All right. So to get on, now that we had a little bit of fun in the chat, good morning. We're going to get on to our language of letting go. We are going to inspire before we expire this beautiful Tuesday. And the messaging, I have to be honest, is beautiful. So, Miss Lee, when's the divorce party? I'm just Tell your husband that I said hi. Tell him I said hi. Tell him Bullhorn Betty loves him and we appreciate his service. We appreciate his service. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Okay, so November 21st is you won't get more than you can handle, right? We're always talking about the life, how life is just rough and why me, poor me. Then we're talking about, preparing ourselves, perception, drive, ambition, living your own life, being comfortable in your own skin, and getting through challenges, right? And then we're like, but God doesn't love me. He's putting me through all of this. I'm going down, down, down. And then today, good morning, Kelly. I don't think I said hi. I think I skipped right past you, Kelly Sue. I'm so sorry. I'm rude. Don't mind me, Kelly. Good morning. Good morning, love. And then we find out after all this gunk that we're going to learn today, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond that which ye are able, but with temptation will always make a way to escape, that you will always have to be able to bear it, or you may be able to bear it. Excuse me. I'm taking care of my roommate and worrying about 3 of my clients. People always say that you'll never get more than you can handle. But that's not true. If you're trying to handle other people's stuff, that can be too much. A therapist and a friend of mine told me, most of us have heard throughout our lives that we'll never get more than we can handle or bear. The load will not be too heavy. If we're given it, we can rise to the occasion and accomplish the task. They didn't say the load wouldn't be heavy. They didn't say the task wouldn't be or could be easily done. They didn't say we would be given the grace and the strength to bear the load of the burdens that weren't ours. Sometimes it feels like too much. I know how that feels. It's not. You're up to the task, whatever it is, whether it feels like you or not. God, please give me all I need today. God, please give me all I need today, including enough joy. So I love that. I love that. And we hear all the time, God will not give us more than we can handle. He just won't, right? And many of us begrudgingly say, I wish God wouldn't trust me so much. Raise your hand if that's you. Because sometimes, I got to be honest, I wish God wouldn't trust me so much, right? But then you understand that God doesn't give you more than you can handle. So we always persevere. And you know what? You've lived through your worst days so far, haven't you? Each and every one of you are here, and each and every one of us had some pretty rotten, stinking days that we thought we would never come out of. And guess what? Here we are on a Tuesday listening to this crazy blonde hair, blue-eyed lady called Bullhorn Betty. Amen. Amen. You survived. I'm a survivor. Right? All right. Enough with me. I love you guys. I'm glad we got an opportunity to catch up. I know I told you last night that we would probably be going down this avenue of Brian Koberger and going through some of the key evidence, which we are going to do, but we're going to do later tonight because as I was, going through some stories yesterday and trying to figure out what I could cover, how much time, I'm trying to make a 2-hour live is, sometimes challenging. Devil doll. I can't even put that up on my screen and I like the language. No. Susie Sue says, God knew us in the first earth age. I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. He knows what we can handle better than we do. Amen. Amen. So I was looking through all the stuff, trying to go through and sometimes there's so much stuff. You guys see how much stuff I read on a daily basis. It's ridiculous. You're probably wondering why I'm not in a padded room with a straight jacket, right? Well, it's because I try to lighten this stuff up just a tad bit. But I have to be honest with you. I'm going to play this little, well, I guess this clip's going to be this afternoon. This is all part of Brian Koberger. Let me move that down here. We're going to be doing Brian Koberger later this evening, and we're going to be going through all the 1-year stuff. We're going to be going over the key elements, and we're going to be talking about what we anticipate some of the defense being. And we're going to be predominantly talking about some legal standards like fruit from the poisonous tree and how that will affect the case. We're just going to take just a little bit of deep dive. We're going to try to educate you guys on some of the language you're going to be hearing in upcoming hearings and what have you. We went over yesterday the fact that the courts are taking over the hearings and bringing them live on a YouTube channel. I think that personally is a very smart middle of the road ground. I think that helps really everybody. I think it keeps the courts in control. They don't have to worry about them, focusing in on areas that they don't need to be, that, the cameras don't need to be focusing on. This is a high profile case. And I truly believe that the camera people were, because to be honest with you, when I read the order, the way the order read, it didn't prevent them from focusing on his face at all. And they basically turned the prior order into it had to be from a whole far away angle, that we're not allowed to have cameras on him at all. And I never understood that order to be that strict, nor did anybody else. But I think that John C. Judge, I think he realized that if he didn't do something about this is just going to be an issue, the pimple on the butt of this case. Moving into the trial, he needed to address this issue because people were just constantly sending in requests to record. People were, you had the whole media coalition throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at this issue because this is a high profile case that they're being blocked out of. And it's really causing a financial impact on the news, the news stations and the newsworthiness. This is a newsworthy case. And it is a very high profile public case. And so there's just a lot more needs in this very complex case than other cases. So we're going to be discussing all that later this afternoon at our 6:30 show this evening. If you guys would like to be there for that, it is, as you can see, it's already kind of already put in form. We just have to discuss it. So tonight at 6:30, we're going to be focusing on Brian Koberger. For the time being, I am just going to, I need to stop. Where am I? Sorry, guys. Because I do have all Brian Koberger stuff up here. And then we've got two different cases there I am. Two different cases that I'm covering related to Dawn, Candace, and Summer. So we got some things, in the percolator. This is what I'm going to say. We're going to get started here. So we all learned that, I hate this. I hate Daily Mail sometimes. They have too many commercials and it causes such major lag when I have any of their stuff up. I don't know if that's by design or what, but it just drives me nuts. So we got Daily Mail up, so I'm going to have some lag issues until let me just bring it up because it's going to drive me freaking nuts. I'm not going to be able to do, you know what? This is what I'll do. That should probably change it. Hopefully that stops the lag. It might not. Got it? Okay. So we obviously have been following the Idaho 4 case before it became the Brian Koberger case, right? It was originally deemed Idaho 4. Actually, to be honest with you, the Idaho 4 was one of the first cases that we prepared. We kind of set the tone for this, despite what anybody would like to say. Go back and look for yourself. Outside of like maybe one or two other channels, we came on here and went with this case, and we coined this case the Idaho 4. And when it kind of just took a life of its own, and next thing you know, Idaho 4 is literally across the entire YouTube, social media. It was deemed hashtag Idaho 4. Believe it or not, that Idaho 4 designation came right here from the Bullhorn Betty channel. And we started following the case. We went out there, we did 2 trips. And then on December 30th, we learned about Brian Koberger. Before we get started, I did drop a few videos down on TikTok, and I am going to play those here for you on this channel because one of them is it's kind of a memorial thing. It doesn't really have any, voiceover or anything like that. And then we have one that I did And then I did one that did have a voiceover over it, but I wasn't really too crazy. But I did it at like midnight tonight. Midnight tonight, I'm doing a voiceover. Trust me, I'm surprised it did well. So we're good. We are good. We're good to go. Okay, let me pause this. There we go, and then I'll pull it up. Okay, we're almost ready. We're gonna just go. They're just like 3 minutes of videos, and it's at the Moscow. But we're just gonna do this because I just did them, and then we're gonna get on to Rex HEUERMANN. Is the first one. Wish this stuff. I hate. Oh well. No. So. It won't let me do it. It just won't let me do it. It won't let me do it.
So we found this area that.
Sorry, I keep trying to throw it up. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to play it. I'm not even going to try.
Now?
I freaking hate.
We are going live.
We
are tired of this.
That was Gabby Petito's. There we go. I can't do TikTok on this on YouTube for StreamYard for some reason. It just doesn't format right. I hate it. I can't explain it. I don't say I hate too often, but I honestly do hate this. But we'll do it one more time. I'm just going to play it. Okay.
Morning hours of November 13th,
irritating.
2022, 4 beautiful souls were taken from this earth. The victims are Maddie Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin. While the entire world was looking for a white Elantra, law enforcement was in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, arresting a man by the name of Brian C. Koberger. On the cold day of December 30th, 2022, Chronicles of Olivia and I were at 1122 King Road as the cleaning crew was showing up at the property. This is the same day.
I just hate bad stuff. I don't like the feed. I don't like the way it's set up. And I forgot I even did it on YouTube. So you guys can go over to my YouTube video channels and check those out. Don't forget to go check them out. And don't forget to like this segment. So now let's get back to Rex HEUERMANN because, again, we have an issue with, is there some kind of serial killer database out there? You know, that an underbelly of society where they have a pen pal network. I don't know what to call it. Is it a pen pal network out there in the streets? Okay, let me just get this up because I've got to turn it off. It's driving me nuts and it's causing lag. Here, hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and put this up and we'll read it. I'm done with Daily Mail. I need to find a different source. All this freaking ads from the Daily Mail is just blagging my shit out. Okay, so here it is. This is what I have a problem with. The Happy Face Killer shares letter from accused killer. Let me see if there's a different article that has this stuff attached besides Daily Mail. Daily Mail, you're losing my business. I'm just letting you know. When you start gunking up my damn lives, I'll find somebody else. Maybe breaking. Let's see if this is it. Let's see if I can get it through here. Happy Face Killer. There it goes. The Sun. The Sun's a good one. Maybe they won't have as much. And the New York Times. No, that's not with Happy Face. I need the one with Happy Face. Okay, let me turn some of these YouTube videos off. Something's lagging my crap out and it's driving me nuts. And I don't need all this shit up here. Give me just a second. Summer Wells stuff. I'm not going through Summer Wells stuff today. Court hearing stuff. Did you guys hear? Before I get started, since I'm lagging out anyways, I might as well, it looks like I cleared whatever up that needed to be cleared up. I dumped some tabs. But you guys know, before we get started on this, I'm going to be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. I'm going on Morbid's channel to do an interview. I have to be honest with you. I don't know what is expected. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I prayed over it, and I'm going on. I'm going on to Morbid's channel, and I'm going to let him interview me. And I hope he gets a lot of clicks and views. I hope that this, helps bring, I hope people learn a little more about me. I don't know what he's going to ask. He asked me if I had any questions I'd like to ask. I'd like him to ask me. And I basically told him no. I'm just one of those people that kind of go with the flow. And I told him some, areas that we can't talk about, which are the obvious areas, the court hearing and whatnot. I'm not going to be going into that on an interview. That's going to be left in the courtrooms. But, pretty much anything else. Nothing's really off limits for this interview. The only requirement is just to be courteous. I truly believe that, I don't care I take people for who they are. Is Morbid an asshole? I don't know. Right? I don't know. I'll give you an opportunity to be an asshole to me, right? I'll give anybody at least one opportunity to be an asshole to me, right? So far, he's been respectful. I have no reason to trust that he's going to do anything nefarious, anything rude, anything, that would put him in a negative light. I just don't see him doing that. But again, I don't know the guy. I've had maybe... I think I've spoken to him like literally one time, and that was a month or two ago, and everything else has been by text. And, so I really don't, and we talk about, stuff with the channel. We don't have, I don't know who he is personally. I have never really had, I don't think, a personal conversation with him, so to speak. But I think it'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how it goes. I know I've been getting it, and I appreciate it. I do love the audience. I have to be honest. I love the audience. I love the people that don't really, care for me, but kind of care for me. And and yes, there are people like that, right? So somebody did reach out to me. And it's like, I'm not really your big fan. Right? I really don't care for you too much. However, just be careful. And I just want to reassure everyone that Bullhorn Betty's a big girl. I've never been accused of not being able to handle my own. And I'm an adult, right? So I don't engage into arguments and in the back and forth. So if it ever did get there, I would just remove myself from the situation. No big deal, right? No big deal. That's how adults work, right? You don't like something, you remove yourself from the situation. You don't try to argue yourself the situation to change. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I'll just walk away. Like, I'm good, right? I'm good. But I don't think in all fairness, I really, truly, and I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I don't, so far, no matter what people on YouTube say, first of all, I don't believe anybody on YouTube when they talk about a creator. That's why I give everyone an opportunity to at least do me dirty once, right? And I do that for a purpose because you guys have watched what I go through on YouTube. I had a bully campaign perpetrated against me that was filled and littered with a whole bunch of lies, and still to this day are filled and littered with a whole bunch of lies that they're peddling as true. And we're in a lawsuit because of these lies. So it's not like I trust the people here on YouTube to give me an unbiased opinion of somebody, because usually on YouTube, when you have haters coming after you, it's usually because they're jealous. They want your audience. They want your money. They want to be you without actually having to work for it. There's a lot of people, never mind just the plain old mental illness that is running the streets of YouTube. So when it comes to me getting a healthy evaluation of somebody, there's nobody to provide me a healthy evaluation of anyone but myself, right? I evaluate people. I have a way of reading people. I do this all over the country. I certainly can do it for myself. I do appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. I got to tell you, I feel the love. Okay? I feel the love. My Gmail is filled with emails. I feel the love from you guys. Oh, wrong one. I'm not looking at the one. happened to love? I hit the wrong button. Fat finger issue, right?
Bullshit detected. Take precaution.
Right? So, one of the conversations was, hey, go over to Morbid's and check his channel out. Just get yourself prepared. Okay. That sounds like a reasonable thing that I can do, right? Well, I did hear Dolly a little bit, but you guys know I've been working a lot. You see me, I'm here, I'm working, I'm just nonstop working. And I heard Dolly bring up Baby Gap, and he did have, I don't know if it was a live or just a video or something. I saw the title, but I didn't have an opportunity to watch it. And then I went back and watched it just a little bit and just like, okay, this is not my cup of tea hearing about, the fight and stuff between the Glare and Morbid and whatever. So I went over there this morning to see it. And apparently there is some issues between Glare and Morbid. Now, I could tell you girls handle business a lot different than guys. Like even Morbid's like, oh, the Glare can be here. He has a right to talk. And I'm like, if you're slobbing and knobbing on on my piece, you don't want to be coming and stepping in my chat room. I'm just saying. I just want to make sure that we're very, very, very clear about this. You're going to be sideways like that. We have what is known as girl code. Like you don't do shit like that. Okay. I don't know what's going on with the men in this world, but get it together. Get it together. I don't care what they say. This whole nonsense, boys will be boys. You guys got common sense. You guys got control over your body and your body parts. Quit giving yourself excuses. That's totally, it shows you integrity and the character of a person to do something like that. Shame on you, Glare. And I'm sure you're going to be up in the chat trying to spank Bullhorn Betty. Well, I'm not one of those bitches. I'm one of those bitches that you put your hands on me, I'll put you on your knees. You'll be sucking something. I promise that. So we do things like girl code over here. And let me just explain what that is for all my lovely ladies out there. Okay. Just so you guys don't make the mistake. That means when you have a friend, that means you don't go diddling in their pond. Okay. You don't go putting your fishing pole in your friend's pond. Okay. I don't care if they've been split up. I don't care. I don't care if she gives you the rights to go out and date unless she truly says, hey, if she comes up to you and says, I have this ex and I think you guys would be good for each other. Other than something like that, you stay the hell out of that pond. I don't care if it's 40 years. If she's your friend, you don't go messing with, it's girl code. You don't do it. And if you do it, you're wrong. You're wrong. And you should, don't be, I'm sorry. You don't do that. You don't do that. Have more respect for yourself. Have more respect for your friends. Just saying. Just saying. All right. I'm done complaining. We're going to get back to the Daily Mail. I think it kind of works. I'm going to take my face off so I don't have to worry about the lag. If it lags, you guys don't even know it's lagging, right? So we're talking about BTK. We know that Bryan Kohberger and BTK had some type of conversation. We know that they were talking back and forth. We know BTK thinks that Bryan Kohberger's a pansy. We know that. Well, now we're finding out that Rex Heuermann and the Happy Face Killer are sharing letters. What is going on with these serial killers being buddy-buddy with other serial killers? Are they preparing each other for what to face in court? Are they talking about their exploits with other victims? What is up with this? We heard this in BTK and Bryan Kohberger. I even brought it up. Why are they talking to each other? How can they be talking to each other? I thought there was a rule in jail that you're not supposed to be writing or communicating with other people in federal facilities or in other jails. Is it because they haven't been found guilty yet and so they can? Well, this one actually has the copy of the letter. So that's why I chose this particular article to read. And I was getting upset because, as you can see, it's just littered with a whole bunch of advertisements. And it really does throttle and lag the internet down when you're trying to read this with all this nonsense popping up. So it is what it is. And I know it's a necessary evil, especially for the Daily Mail. And they do a good job and they send people all over the world. So I kind of understand why they have to let's hope we're making the money. That's all I say. So get over to Daily Mail. Maybe if we blow them up and they get a lot of money on the advertisement, maybe they'll start reconsidering reducing some of it. So Keith Jefferson killed 8 women. He's deemed the happy face killer. Of my understanding, he was a truck driver. You know how that all works out. So the happy face killer is sharing letters that he says that Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann sent him in jail. It says moaning about dry bread and gloomy exercise yard. You know, and again, not our problem. You killed all these women. Buckle up, Buttercup. This is it. You were having, those hot dates when you were on the outs. The only hot dates come with a full man shoe and a hairy starfish. So enjoy your time at the courtesy of the United States citizens. A truck driver who gets the nickname Happy Face Killer after murdering 8 women has become pen pals with accused serial killer, the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann. Keith Jefferson, which is now 68 years old, was given a life sentence in 1995, and from his Oregon cell now writes to others behind bars. Jefferson wrote Heuermann. So that kind of clarifies it. So I had it off a little bit. I thought Rex Heuermann wrote Jefferson, but Jefferson wrote Rex Heuermann to begin with. 59 years old in his Long Island jail. But again, it makes me question, how is Jefferson a person that is accused? Is he on death row? But he's life in prison. Either way, whether he's on death row or life in prison, it's no consequence to me. It's a insignificant issue. But I thought people in jail couldn't write other people in jail. Maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm just naive. But there was something I thought that was written in the rules to say you cannot, have these back and forths. I don't know. I've always heard that. But Jefferson wrote Heuermann, 59, in his Long Island jail on August 31st. Heuermann, waiting trial for murder of 3 sex workers, wrote back. Jefferson recommended Heuermann confess to avoid giving prosecutors the chance to gloat about finding evidence and to avoid the spectacle of trial. He told podcast host Keith Revere that Heuermann moaned about conditions in jail, from dry bread to gloomy exercise yard. And then that right there is obviously Rex Heuermann. Right? Was that with his weird haircut? He had this weird, I think this was before. He had this weird haircut that he took his sideburns on. He looked absolutely horrific. And then that, of course, that's the, right there is the happy face killer. That is Jefferson, right? Can I get this? Hold on. Right there. That's Jefferson. That's what he looks like now. Not so much a happy face anymore. He's not much of a happy face anymore, but that is him. And here is the letter. That's what Rex Heuermann's handwriting looks like. And this says August 31st. And it says, Keith, first off, I would like to say thank you for your letter and advice. They have been a help and a comfort to me. I do understand what you have said and taken it to heart. Being only a month and a half in this, as you know, I have had a lot to think about. Right about I need to get a few things in order, which the lawyers are working on. You were right. You were right about letters. I have gotten a number of them asking for interviews, to be friends, pen pals. And one guy, what does it say? And one guy who sent me 3 letters asking me to write back. Sorry, his handwriting is awful. To write back is his collection of letters. You are the only person who I have written back to and plan to write. I know I have gotten into, what is it? great detail, gotten something. I don't know what this word, it looks like a T and an S, but I can't figure out what that means. To? Is that as to? Right to? So I don't know. I have gotten into great detail. I am not sure if my mail is not being read. I did have one officer make a comment to me that he knew you were writing to me. Wow. So it sounds like, geez, OSP is not such a bad place to be. I don't know what that means. Do you have butter for your bread? This is weird. How is the day-to-day food? I will admit the food at SCCS is not much to look forward to each day. Also, yard is just walking in a circle outside. I do understand. What does it say? I do understand what you have, what is it, told? What you have told me. Also, that timing is important with this process. I'm working out the timing. Next court date is 9/27. As I understand it, that it is just a conference court date. So I do not expect much to happen. I have not even seen the discovery yet at this point. I'm sorry it took so long to write back to you. I know I should have done it sooner. The main thing I wanted to say was thank you to you and your blank, the letters, for the letters and what has been done for mine. So whatever that means. So it was hard to read. I hope you guys got that. We'll have to go through that. And then they even provided the letter right there, a copy of the letter showing Rex HEUERMANN. They covered up his where he's at. So we got that. So I just found it a little odd. I didn't know if anybody else, let me go and see if I can read some of the comments. I'm just going to scroll back up because that took me quite a little bit to read here. Oh, we have a new member. Hold on, let me go over here. Oh, we do have some things going on here. So Sweet Misery says, good morning, Coffee Beans. Oh, look at that. It's me, Jen. Just gifted one Bullhorn Betty membership. Thank you so much for that. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, please don't forget to tell It's Me, Jen. Thank you for the sponsorship. Miss Lee, mom of 13 months. I can't believe it's been this long. I know. And then look what we have. Jen also gifted another Bullhorn Betty membership. So thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much for all of your love and support of the Bullhorn Betty channel, as always. Morbid said, D-pick to women. Sends D-pick to women. Well, I honestly say that is, I don't engage in that kind of garbage. I think it's disgusting. I mean, you don't know who you're sending that stuff to. And quite frankly, I think that we're all adults here. And if we don't want our nonsense put out on YouTube for ever and ever, stop. Just stop. If you want to do something like that, go meet the person in person. Don't be having your junk all over the internet. That's just got to be embarrassing. It's stupid. There's no need for it. People, grow up. We're adults here. That's the nonsense that kids do. And then when they got their nonsense plastered all over the internet, they run home to mommy and daddy and scream bloody murder because they decided to do something they should have done. Quit doing it. Quit doing it. I can't wait. He's excited, Betty. Yeah, that's what I hear. So we'll see what we can do. They were hacking celebs' phones and using their exclusive stories to blackmail celebs. Oh, shit. You know what? I'm telling you, I like the Daily Mail. If that's the kind of stuff that they do, I don't know what to say. I like the Daily Mail. I can tell you that they are as ruthless as Bullhorn Betty. They get in there. They get the job done. I have seen them do some great work. I got to be honest with you. Sometimes when I was first like Gabby Petito and I met my first Daily Mail guy. I love the Daily Mailer. There's one guy, he He's actually pretty good looking, and he's got kind of shoulder length, dark, curly hair. I always love seeing him. He's a nice guy. I keep wondering if he's single. I don't know if he's single or not. I don't know. Maybe next time I see him, I might ask. I should stop. I'm just joking. Just trying to make some waves. But yeah, that I like the Daily Mail. They are ruthless. They get the job done. And you know what? That's journalism. You know, they're not scared to do their job. And people, listen, I'm so sick of seeing people's heart on their sleeve. Get the hell away from me with that bull crap. Okay. I know there's sweet people in the world, and that's what God made you for, right? For you to be sweet. There's just people that aren't sweet. Okay. I am a nice person. I'm a good person. I love helping. I love having a great time. I love laughing. I love smiling, but I'm not one of those. I'm not an Olivia. Okay. I'm a Bullhorn Betty. That's my personality. Okay. There's a reason why there's a yin and yang, right? There's a reason why there's a Chronicles of Olivia and a Bullhorn Betty, right? It's a balancing. I think Daily Mail's balanced. They got crazy on top of crazy. They're my kind of people. I can't wait to see you on more, but I'm excited. I have to be honest with you. I know people are a little apprehensive for me, but I'm actually kind of excited. You know, it's been a while since I've had, well, I mean, I shouldn't say, but it's been a while since I've been interviewed on YouTube. Right? This should be interesting, having an interview from the comfort of my home versus having a whole bunch of equipment in my home to give an interview. It's going to be, this is going to be the first interview that I've had that's not like, on camera. I mean, it's on camera. You guys know what I'm saying, right? We have something that's going to be coming out in December that I'm hearing there's a little birdie on my shoulder. If you guys haven't done your 7-day Paramount trial yet, the app trial, don't do it yet. We're going to wait until December. And then we're going to all go over and we're going to sign up for our 7-day free Paramount account. That's what we're going to do. Susie Sue, don't hold back. Tell me how you really feel. I love you, Susie Sue. I love you. I really do. I love it. You don't ever hold back. That's what we love about this channel. Don't hold back. Everybody says, oh, Bullhorn Betty will throw you out of her channel if you have an opinion. No, I won't. I throw you out of my channel for being rude and an asshole. That's what you get thrown out of my channel for. You never get thrown out of my channel. Mike goes against literally everything every person says in here. Mike Stevens. I'm not lying. If we're watching a trial, Mike is on the opposite end of every single thing. And Mike, if you know anything about Mike, needlessly says, we'll go through the whole entire chat and just start spamming the chat. He's innocent. I know he's innocent. I can't believe it. Right? So, but Mike is funny. He's not an asshole. Mike is not in here instigating stuff. Mike is in here being a part of the channel and doing stuff that makes it enjoyable for everybody else. Is Mike parroting what the rest of the channel says or parroting? Of course not. None of these people in my chat do, and that's what they love about it. But you wouldn't know that because you're told that if you come here and have a conversation, a healthy conversation or a healthy debate, you're going to be thrown off. No, we throw you off for being an asshole. Okay, let's be very, very clear what you get kicked out of the Bullhorn Betty chat for. And it's never been for vocalizing your opinion. Okay? Now, if you're vocalizing your opinion and you want to be disrespectful, yes, that's being an asshole. That's what we kick you out of this channel for. I'm going to sit here and throw this out here to all the people. We know that you guys have been conned. We know that you have been lied to by people. We know you have been, $40,000 robbed, blind over lies. So we know these things, and I'm sympathetic for you. And I realize that you have made a terrible decision. And we are not perfect in this world. The one thing that I can tell you is the one thing I'm perfect about is being a sinner and being imperfect. Those are the only two things that I am perfect about, that I get 100%. I am a sinner and I make mistakes. So we all can just get along. So if you're tired of the fighting and you're tired of being a pawn, and you're tired of being used for a purpose, a immoral purpose, and you want to do good, you are welcome here. Your only requirement to be here and in a chat is don't be a dick. That's it. And if you can't do that one simple task, you do not need to be here, and quit crying like a little baby that you got kicked out of the chat. Don't like it? Don't come here. You don't see me saying, hey, I want every single asshole on YouTube in my channel chat. It's quality over here, not quantity, baby. But anyways, I digress. We know you guys been lied to. We know you guys are sick and tired of all the crap and being peddled nonstop in your ears. And you know it's a lie. You know it's a lie. Even the stories, you know that they're lies. So we understand. So if you've made a terrible decision and you want to come back and say you're blocked, you said some nasty things in here and we blocked you. Reach out to Bullhorn Betty at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And if you're ready to be an adult and just have healthy conversations about true crime, come back. But I will not have cockroaches here. If you're a cockroach and you're just here to spy, I really don't care. I hope I trigger you. I hope I upset you. I hope I make you have a really shitty day. What can I say? Right? Because you're already miserable anyways. This is probably the only time you laugh in all your misery and all your sweet misery. No pun intended, sweet. No pun intended. There's Mike. Mike will tell you. Mike will tell you. Mike, do you agree? I just want to ask you this. We're going to talk to Mike. Chill with the chat because we want to hear from Mike. Mike's going to have to take 20 seconds. Then it takes 20 seconds for me to see it. Then it takes 20 seconds for me to respond. Mike see it. So this is going to be about a minute. Mike, you come against everything that we say here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. How many times have we kicked you out of this chat? I'm just curious. We may have back in the day kicked you out. I don't know. I'm asking seriously. But we have. Be honest, right? But how many times have we kicked you out of the chat and blocked you? I'm just curious. I mean, we've been out here for 2 years. We've had a lot of bumpy rides. There might be a few people in here that have been blocked by Bullhorn Betty, right? Over the last year. I'm kicked out of Lisa's. Oh, no. Are you serious? See, that shows you right there. That shows you right there who really truly is accepting and who really isn't. Because it seems to me that we're accepting of everybody, but they're only accepting if you do what they tell you to do. As long as you think the way that they want you to think, and as long as you do what they tell you to do, you're fine. You're their BFF. But really, you want to be like that? You want to be somebody's bitch? Is that what you guys have lowered yourself to be some channel's little bitch? Wow. That's not inspiring or empowering. I feel sorry for you guys. Well, I can promise you if you're over here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we don't pimp you out like that. We don't pimp you out like that. You know what we do? We inspire you to do better in your community, right? We inspire you to do things positive. We have an attitude with gratitude over here. Who's Lisa? She's the fake boobs, fake face, content creator that gets 20 people in her lives. She needs a little more CC pumped into those boobies. No offense to women that have, CCs. I'm getting into my 40s. Who knows? Give me 5 more years. I might be up there with her. I should stop. Devil Doll's like, oh my God, I need to leave. We're going in left field now, baby. Now Betty's talking about boob jobs. Oh Lord, what are we doing over here? You know what we're doing over here? We're just. BJ's in the house. Give me a couple more years. We'll see how gravity works. Who knows? I might be right there. I got enough to pass around, you know, Lisa, you could have just came over and borrowed some from me. You know, I understand the problems of your kind these days, you know. Just saying. Oh, you haven't? See? Oh, look at that. Look at that. So Mike Stevens has never really, Mike Stevens agrees with us every now and again. Okay. Yeah. Once in a while, we'll get Mike on a good day, right? You know, the problem with Mike is just filled with so much grease and sugar, right? Pimp Daddy, Big Mac Mike, Pimp Daddy Mike, Big Mac Mike, right? Grease and soda. Addicted to McDonald's. A heart attack waiting to happen here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. And Mike says, does not trust me. Mike doesn't hold back. Never been kicked off the Bullhorn Betty's channel, and very rarely agrees with Bullhorn Betty. There is a prime example right there of people saying that we just throw people off that different opinions. Mike has never been booted from this channel because Mike doesn't agree with us, but Mike's not an asshole, right? Mike actually debates the issues on the facts. Doesn't come in here like, oh my God, no, let's go ahead and debate this issue. Like I had somebody that said, yeah, I called in and Betty booted me because she didn't like what I had to say. It's some guy, right? So he has his feelings hurt by a girl. And so he's never come back because we were talking about Kylie and he was accident and she just wouldn't listen to it. She just wouldn't listen to it. So I wouldn't listen to you. You got butthurt, left the channel, and decided to start having a campaign against Betty because she didn't listen to you. And you think I'm the problem? Dude, I may be a girl, but no man tells me what I need to listen to, who I need to hear, and who I can't hang up on. And if that gets you all butthurt, see, back in my day, men were men, you know? I have to be honest with you. Now, I might be a little off base here, but when I was growing up, we had male, you know, real men. You know, we had men that went out there and worked with their hands. We had men that weren't concerned about having their voice heard, right? If a woman listened to him, it's okay. If a woman didn't listen to him, it's okay. Right? We had men. We didn't have these women men. We didn't have these men with all these emotions and, oh my God, she didn't listen to me, so I'm going to cry and go over here. We had real men that said, what the hell is this shit? Where are those men in our world? We need those men here on YouTube. Those men that come up here and call these pansies. Quit being a pansy. You butthurt Bettys. Or should I say butthurt? What's a male word that rhymes with Betty? Oh, guys, what rhymes with Betty? What male word rhymes with Betty? Freddie. Butthurt Freddie, right? Sonia. Good job, girl. Good job. Go over and sub her up. She was quick on that one. There you go. Quit being a butthurt Freddie. I heard it too. It's like I went over there and I was talking to her and she just hung up on me because the only time you've ever heard me hang up on somebody, think about it. It's not when they say, hey, you know, Betty, well, you know, I kind of disagree with your position on this because here's what I think. And then I would be like, oh, well, you know, I don't think that because how did she do this circle? How can she not see? And why did she tell her friends this? And we would have debated on the issues. But when you call up here and say, Betty, I just can't believe that you are not even considering that. Click. Bye. Eddie, Freddie and Eddie, right? Don't be a butthurt Eddie. Don't be a butthurt Eddie. Actually, the guy's probably name is Ed. Speaking of Eds, I'm going to play this, but I'm not going to play the end. We don't need to call Ed Brodsky. We might. I'm giving him an opportunity to make some changes, right? I don't want to beat him up. I don't want to go after him too hard. I need to give him a little bit of breathing room to make some changes, right? So we'll see. But I have to think out of all this time, if he hasn't made the changes necessary yet, he probably isn't. He's been a politician and he's been our district attorney for some time. But I advocate for the people and I advocate for the victims. And this guy has blood on his hands. Unfortunately, it's not my blood. I didn't do it. I'm a law and order chick. I like to know that violent criminals are off the streets from hurting people. Just me personally. Just saying.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. So there's something going on in my community and I need your help with. So this is a double homicide that happened in my community, but there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. This is Thomas Matajek. He actually killed his mother and her boyfriend recently, but the problem here is he shouldn't even have been out of jail. He should have been in a mental hospital, and he is deemed incompetent to stand trial. This right here is our state attorney, and his name is Ed Brodsky. He has been our state attorney in the 12th District for some time. I recently learned our law enforcement officer, Sheriff Rick Wells, has arrested this guy many times and has prepared a case and sent that over to the state prosecutor. Ed Brodsky was supposed to litigate the matter. However, he ended up taking the felony case, reducing it to a misdemeanor, sending it to a misdemeanor court, and then just a month ago sent this deranged mental patient to a halfway house where he escaped and killed his mother. How can you help Bullhorn Betty? You can help Bullhorn Betty by saying, we will not accept this. This is unacceptable. Our law enforcement does their job and they send it over to the prosecutors just to let them go. Now, 2 people in my own backyard have lost their life because of these horrible and poor decisions at the hand of the state prosecutor, not law enforcement. So please, I ask you, is this going to be acceptable in your community as well? This is how you can help. If this
I'm going to stop it right there because, again, I think I made my point. You know, I'm not shy. I'm not shy. And they're probably, everybody here is like, oh shit. What did you do to Betty? What did you do? What did you do? So, what does it say? Did Derek Chavez's new appeal got rejected again? So his prison sentence remains the same, 25 more years. You know, I can't even get into this. You know, the jury has spoken. I have to say, I'm not a fan of anything to do with the neck. You know, the holding down anything. There's just too many. It's just not a. I mean, we have some protection there, but when you're getting roughhouse, it's a area. You know, this whole area just needs to not be, you know, touched by law enforcement. There's too much stuff can happen here. And, you know, we all have our problems. We all have our problems in our systems, but Derek, you know, he was found guilty of the crime. And I think in a civilized environment, you know, and I realized this guy was acting erratic, but they didn't get a medical attention. They weren't listening to him. And I know that a lot of, and what people don't understand is when people are getting arrested, this is probably not the first time that they heard from a detainee or an arrestee that they couldn't breathe, or, you know, starting making some fake medical situation to try to get out of the cuffs or something like that. I mean, criminals are very conniving and cunning, right? So they say these things. So it's like people don't understand. They're like, well, he's screaming for air. And it's like, well, the 20 people that they arrested before that were screaming for air too, and they were just fine. And that's what I think the society doesn't understand. What he did was wrong, and I'm not going to justify it in any way. A person lost their life because of it. And you know my stance on it. Doesn't matter what that person did in their life. Doesn't matter if they're a drug addict. Doesn't matter if they're a piece of garbage. The bottom line is in this society, we allow people to be pieces of garbage. We allow them to live their life the way they want to live their life. And if they step over the line, they have consequences for that. But each person has the right to live their life the way they want to live their life. And so I don't judge. I don't judge when it comes to all this drug stuff, because I was there, I wasn't there to certain degrees that we cover on here, but the bottom line is I do identify some of these behaviors, and I understand them, and I get it. And I've had a lot of experiences in my life. Why do these people feel entitled that someone would have to speak to them or else? It's weird. I know. It's kind of like authoritarian, right? Communism. It feels a little bit like communism. Do as I say, not as I do, and do what I tell you to do. If you don't, then you're going to have hefty consequences to deal with. It's the CCP. They're the CCP of YouTube. There you go. They're the CCP of YouTube. Maybe that's why they got the over there. I'm used to being bossed by women. Oh, here. Are you used to being beaten by one too? Asking for a few friends. Oh, thank you, PJ. Oh, Lord. When getting arrested, everyone's cuffs are too tight. Everyone's chest hurts. Everyone can't breathe. They never know when to take them seriously. And yeah, so I just wanted, it's not that I'm justifying Derek in any way. I mean, the jury found him guilty. He's guilty. You know how I feel about that. The jury, this is our system. It's an imperfect system, but it's the system that we have, and I trust the system. And they presented the case before people, and those people, 12 jury members found this man guilty of this crime. There's no dispute that he's guilty. You know why? Because the jury found him guilty. I just personally just wanted to give a different perspective, because sometimes a lot of people that have never had any type of contact with law enforcement, have never been arrested, have never had those experiences of being on the other side of law, you don't understand it. So the only way you can understand it is either reading about it, hearing about other people's experiences that have experienced stuff like that. That's the only way you really get knowledge of facts, is through other people, because you've never had the experience yourself. So I've seen where people have thrown temper tantrums. I've seen where people have stopped breathing just to try to go to the hospital instead of jail. I've seen that with my own eyes. So I know it exists, and I know how often it happens too. And I really do believe that this officer, and this is the problem that I have with these hefty sentences, like 25 years. I have to ask myself, did he intend to hurt this man? Did he intend to take this man's life away? Or was he just trying to act in concert with what his job required? And yes, they do train them. And I don't care what is out there, whether they say it's a policy never to put your knee in this place. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of officers that were trained otherwise before they made the policy changes. And just like everybody else, when you've been doing the same thing for 30 years, you go, it's habit. It's habit. So if they were allowed to use those restraints years before, but for whatever reason, policy changed because of things like this, which, that's usually what drives policy changes. Somebody got hurt and they have to make changes. Sometimes in the training, it doesn't take, they go back to what they know instead of the new stuff. I mean, I do it all the time here. I mean, that since I've been in the law office, I got to tell you, the way pleadings are written, how the terminology is used, it's much different this day and age than it was when I was in the law office. I mean, it's all kind of standard, but I can see that the legal ease in some of these documents has relaxed a significant amount from when I was practicing in law office. And I did wills, trusts, estates, bankruptcies. When I first started out, it was the most boring type of law that you could possibly imagine. And then we were getting into contract law and more significant laws that required more investigative research, more discovery, understanding the discovery and things like that. But I have to tell you, these pleadings, lots of language changes. And I have a writing style. That I've had for many years. It's just the way I do it. And it's a little outdated. It's my writing style. So I'm going to still continue to use it, outdated or not. And so that's kind of where it is. It's like this training is outdated. And I just feel like, 25 years is a significant amount of time for somebody that just made a poor decision. Yes, somebody lost their life, but did it really rise to 25 years of an officer? Did he really, was it so egregious that he deserves 25 years? That's the problem I have. You have people that intentionally, willfully drive by houses, shoot them up, kill little kids, and they get 10 years. That is a willful act. You've got a law enforcement officer that made a terrible decision and it lost somebody his life. Was that officer's intent to kill that man? He woke up that day and said, I'm going to kill a man. I'm going to put my knee on his neck until the life goes out of him. No, he did not do that. And that's where I have a problem with these types of sentences. I don't want to take care of this man for 25 years. Is he going to be likely to re-offend? No. These are the questions that should be asked, and why I hate standardized sentencing. I hate standardized sentencing. To me, that is unlawful. Every single case, especially criminal cases, should be adjudicated on those cases' specific matters. I don't care about the PC culture bullshit that says, oh, this guy over here gets 15 years while this guy over here gets 5 years. Well, what are the differences between the cases? Maybe the one that got 5 years was brutalized as a child and AR'd regularly and has extenuating circumstances. I'm sick and tired of the standardized sentencing. I want people to be brought to justice, and I want their sentencing based on their specific crime, not a worksheet to tell you that because he was charged with a second-degree murder, he has to be in this. I don't care if it's a second-degree murder or not. You guys know how I feel about murder. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Right? Betty's sounding pretty hypocritical right now, right? No. Because the eye for the eye and the tooth for the tooth is for the people that intentionally did that. They intentionally wanted to hurt somebody and they hurt somebody to death. Those are the people, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. People all the time make mistakes that lose people their life. For example, I live in Bradenton and Sarasota. Many of you guys know we have world-renowned beaches in Sarasota, Siesta Key being one of them. We have a lot of high rises in Sarasota and a lot of people that work on those high rises. People fall off those high rises all the time and die because they didn't put their harness, they didn't set their harness up right, they didn't hook their harness up right. They made a mistake and it cost somebody their life. It may have been somebody else. They made Joe Plumber over there. Tom Electrician tells Joe Plumber, hey, hook me up, just clip it here. And the guy clips it wrong and the guy goes off the side of the people die all the time by mistakes. Does that person that clipped his harness on wrong, should that person be in jail for 25 years? That's kind of how I look at this. This was a little more egregious than, something innocent. So I get that. But I still think 25 years for Derek was entirely too harsh for the crime. I know that there's many people out there that advocated for the gentleman that lost his life. We saw it ourselves, but I still don't think it was intentional, and that's my focus. If it was intentional, I would say Derek deserves to be under the jail, right? I'm pretty fair when it comes to stuff like that. I'm pretty fair. I'm an equal opportunity person, right? So I don't mind if you're a creep and you're a murderer. I want you away from the people. But I also am reasonable enough to know that people make terrible mistakes, will never reoffend again, and that should be the crux of these sentencings, right? Is this person likely to reoffend or not? As unfortunate as that sounds, we need to take that into consideration, because let me tell you, it costs us like $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year for each and every one of our prisoners. They're taking from us. Our prisoners are taking from us. They're not doing anything with their life, and they're not getting the therapy they need. The low-level crimes need to be in different types of jails where you force these people to get out, get jobs, and work. Be productive members of society and teach them how to do it. A lot of these people in jail don't know how to live life right, because they had poor examples, parents, and, just, parents dying, being in the system. You don't know what walk somebody's gone down. They can still be saved, but you got to try to save them. Quit throwing them in jail. If we attack the petty crimes in a different way, I truly believe that those people that do those petty crimes that end up escalating to more significant crimes, I feel like we can get them and we can change their life and make them become more productive members of society, and realize if they take some of that energy that they're doing bad with and do good with, they will be wildly successful. It's just changing the way that they think. It really is. It's changing the way that they think. But getting back to HEUERMANN, how do each and every one of you guys feel about this new age thing where we have these serial killers, and now we're learning that serial killers can now communicate with other serial killers? To me, I think there needs to be policy change. I'm sorry. I think there needs to be policy change. I don't think these animals should be communicating with each other. And they say, oh, well, their letters are probably being read. They're probably but what if they're not? What if somebody slips through? What if they're coordinating? What if they're talking about the exploits that they had and helping each other, fantasize while they're in prison of their exploits and the horrible things that they did to these people? I don't understand how this is okay. I don't want serial killers writing other serial killers. Let's by the chat, by ones and twos in the chat. If you think there needs to be policy change to prevent violent criminals from communicating with each other through letters, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's going too far, if you think that this, it's letters, let the people write. Put a 2 in the chat. There's no right or wrong answers. I really am looking for your authentic and serious answers. What you think, because sometimes I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay. I know it is kind of weird that he did respond, but I still think this sounds very progressive. Yeah, maybe it does, but I really am curious. I honestly think that they shouldn't be. I think one of the biggest problems that society has with our criminal justice system, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. You guys may differ, and you might be thinking, yeah, maybe in part, but not the primary thing. But when people go to prison, I think one of the biggest concerns for all of us is that we feel that when they go to prison, they come out worse than they went in. In many cases, I think they do. You've got somebody that's a swindler or something like that, and now he knows how to, goes there and gets educated by somebody that's jacking cars or, robbing grandmas or, and then when they get out, they're going to escalate to the new craft that they learned in prison. And I know that you can't separate them all. They do have their dorms, they do have their pods, and they communicate together, and they do need to be socialized, because you can't just put them in a cage and never let them see the light of day again. I mean, honestly, they would probably be more vicious with that. I'm not one of those people that, believe it or not, I know probably going to get some hate from this, but I'm not one of those people that don't believe in conjugal visits either. I think that they should have conjugal visits. And it's not because I think that they deserve to relieve themselves in that way. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that I think a male's body, you guys know that they have to relieve themselves. So it's not it causes medical problems for them not. I mean, serious medical problems if they don't. And so you're forcing a whole bunch of men to do things that are morally corrupt because they have a need that is required. And they get no privacy to handle any of that. And it is literally a medical need. And and people don't realize that. I mean, it's a little different for women. We don't have medical complications for not having that type of relief. It's much different for a man's biology than it is for females' biology. So they give them no privacy. This is a private medical matter. And unfortunately, so I mean, people, it's medical for me versus other ways. And they're like, well, they can relieve themselves in other ways. Yes, but people are still religious. It's still morally corrupt. And they're forcing them to go against their religious rights and freedoms to do things that are morally corrupt in their religion. And we do, no matter if you're in jail or not, you have the right to religious freedom. And I'm sorry, I just, people, there's these animals out here that said, oh, they're just wanting to have this so they can, I don't know if you missed your sex education class or not. Let me just put it, I'm not going to beat around the bush. It's called blue balls, okay? It's called blue balls. It's a medical condition that's very, 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 very uncomfortable for men. And it's from them not relieving themselves in that manner, okay? And it is a medical necessity for a man to. So I'm done talking about it. I don't want people beating me up on this. It's a medical issue for me. It's a significant and serious. It's a medical issue and a religious issue for me. It's a medical and religious issue for me. I'm sorry. It is. What does it say here? Here's something else. It says HEUERMANN, who was in court on November 15th, watched for the first time by his wife, Asa Ellerup, told Jefferson he had been busy for the weeks since his initial arrest. Ellerup has filed for divorce and HEUERMANN has signed over his marital home to her. See, I think this is... No, he signed over the marital home to her. She's getting $1 million deal. He knows he's going away for life. He's handing basically everything over to Asa or Asa, however you pronounce her name. I've heard it both ways on this stuff. Oh, thank you, Jen. God bless you. God bless you. Turtle Madness pops up with Bullhorn Betty saying blue balls. So, yeah, that's funny. But this statement here, let me put this up here for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This statement here, this is having me really giving me much heartburn, and I'll tell you why. Because and I don't want to victim shame, because we are always beat up over here for not being I'm not PC and I'm never going to be PC. So I'll try to sensitize it, because, we have too many sensitive people in the world. But we heard on Ashley Banfield, my BFF, right? My BFF, Ashley Banfield. We heard on her show that when Asa was in that courtroom with Rex, that there was this big, huge smile that came on her face. Let me see if I can find that interview. Hold on a second. I want you guys to hear this. Sorry, I probably should have had it pulled up, but I wasn't going to go down this road here. But it was News Nation, and it was Rex HEUERMANN. And it was the most recent Ashley Banfield. Let me see if this is the one. This is the one. Okay, I got it up. So let me pull this up real quick and we'll get back to it. I know it's got to be. Tell me this is the right one. This may not be the right one. I don't see Ashley Banfield. It's the Ashley Banfield one. That's not it. Give me a second, guys. It's just going to take me a second. I need to find Ashley Banfield. That's the one. No, that's not it. That's the one I just looked at. 5 days ago. Okay, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. I found it. So we're talking about Asa coming in, and yeah, and so she's talking to this attorney, And she's talking to him about this smile that just erupted over her face. And I think it's right here. Let's just listen. Maybe. Okay, so we'll go back to this, and let me go ahead and pull this up. And we're going to talk about it because we discussed this. And why I'm looking for this video is because it makes you... Attorney John Ray came out and basically said Asa is a part of this, that Asa is a part of a swinger party, that Asa knew of his sexual proclivities of Rex Heuermann. He came out there, and we were kind of appalled at Attorney John Ray because we believe that Asa and the children are victims of Rex Heuermann as well. But we realized very soon that within 6 days of him being arrested, she asked no questions, spoke to him barely at all. I think there may have been one conversation and one conversation only, right? Between him and his wife. But yet in 6 days, she filed for divorce. We're seeing that Heuermann's not even fighting with her. He's signing over the marital home. He's signing over the finances to her. And I even told the audience here that there's a possibility that she got a divorce just to protect the assets, And, when we found out she was going to court, I said, I don't think this is a stand by your man type of hearing. She's going in there to hear the evidence. But that was pre me knowing that there was $1 million deal on the line, right? So now we got $1 million deal. Rex not fighting, her divorcing him in 6 days. And then we're going to go through this, and I'll stop it when we get to the point of what I think is important here. And it is about the smile. So we'll
I believe you that they're struggling out there in that little house because he was the breadwinner, and they said all along we don't have any income now. So the Mercedes threw us all off. So what's the relationship between Christopher and Victoria and their dad? Have they visited? Have they spoken to him?
They've spoken to him. They have not visited with.
So they've spoken with him, but have not visited with him. We know that Asa spoke to Rex. I think it was like within 24 hours of him being arrested or something like that, potentially. I can't remember the specific date, so don't quote me on it, but do your own research related to that. But she did speak to him, from my understanding, within a short distance of time from the time he was arrested. But again, she did file for divorce within 6 days. And now the kids are talking to him, but not visiting him.
With him, that's something that may be coming down the pike, obviously, every day. They're reevaluating what they're going to do every day as new information comes out in the media, as the DA releases new evidence, et cetera. So it's not out of the question that they will see him at some point, but as of yet, they have not.
Good morning, Angie.
And what about the mom?
And as one might
Ellerup, smiling, a big smile.
There it is.
What's the relationship? She filed for divorce, but then this giant smile. What's going on between the two of them?
Yeah, that I wish I could speculate on that. I'm not going.
You can see by the attorney's response as well that he was uncomfortable. He almost had that uncomfortable kind of smile, whatever. Hey, put an end to the hate. Hey, Miss Robin, it's nice to see you. Unicorn, Donna, I don't know if I said hi to you guys. Good morning. It's nice to see you. So, it's hard not to, because I've had such a strong stance on Asa being, definitely the kids. I don't think the kids are involved or anything like that. But with Attorney John Ray's statement, and now this, and then now the smile and the $1 million deal, something, it's just not sitting right with me anymore. It just isn't. And it's not, I'm not going to sit here and joke about it or keep going down. Something's not sitting right with me with Asa now. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's not. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I'm trying to process through, how I feel and play the tape through and stuff like that. But now with all this, I'm kind of cautioning myself and stepping back and saying, is there more to the story that I don't want to acknowledge? Right? We make mistakes. I have glaring defects, right? Am I, because I'm so sympathetic to like BTK's daughter and her story, that I'm allowing it to cause a bias in me that won't allow me to see that there might be more to the Rex HEUERMANN case. You know, am I being emotional? You know how I feel about that, right? Am I being emotional about how I'm looking at this case because I don't want to believe or go down the road of Asa having some knowledge, not the knowledge that he was this monster, but some knowledge that there was something not right and something really off, and in her turning a blind eye to it. We talk about it all the time, like with our kids and stuff. And I tell you guys that as a parent, you know, whether you want to acknowledge it, you know, when your child's lying to you, and you make excuses, right? We do that. We do that with our significant other, you know, right? We'll see something that we explain away in our head because it couldn't be another person, right? It's got to be. We explain it away. We explain the lie away. It doesn't mean that we didn't think it. It was there. Is it something like that with Asa? I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to feel like maybe we missed something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's possible. Hey, Deanna, nice to see you. November Rain, good morning. It's nice to see you as well. I don't think I said hi to you either. Yeah. It just seems like I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like now, and maybe it just might be this whole $1 million thing that I'm just like, maybe a piece of me, whether I'm trying to, you know, not. Maybe the $1 million things is starting to affect my brain too, right? Maybe I'm starting to say, maybe there's more here. Maybe I'm because of this $1 million, I'm thinking in my brain that there has to be more here, right? There has to be more here. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I just know that at this moment right here, now tomorrow I may wake up and have an epiphany and everything in my brain just changes, right? And it says, Asa didn't do this. She's just hard up. She's just doing the best for her family. I don't feel that she had anything to do with this. But right now, here today, I feel like maybe I'm missing something. And when my body is telling me, and I have this gut, and it's telling me that something, I feel like I'm missing something, I need to stop and figure it out. Now, it may not have nothing to do with Asa. It may just be some other matter. I'm just saying that something is telling me in my gut, there is something amiss. There is something amiss in this case. This $1 million thing, this smile from Asa, this 6 days of filing a divorce, this signing over of the house. This feels like it was if something happens to me, this is what you need to do. It seems like this to me, this is what I'm trying to say. It seems to me like there was this unknown plan before this all happened, that if something ever did happen, this is the strategy, and it was executed immediately when he was arrested. That's what I'm feeling, and I'm not saying it happened like that. I'm just saying that this is it's caused, and I told you guys that yesterday, this just caused a big huge black cloud over this case. More so, he signed over his precious house. Yeah, apparently to her. He's not fighting her. 6 days, she started filing divorce. He's now signed the house over to her. She's got this $1 million peacock deal. And now she goes into court and they see Rex and her share this moment. This moment where she was ear to ear, grinning and smiling and looking at him. Her attorney says it was something related to nervousness, or, you know, just a nervous thing. I don't know. I don't know. I keep thinking, you know, about me or about you. If you know, we were in a situation like this, I doubt a smile could ever even form on my face. I would be looking at Rex with daggers coming out of my eyes. Like, how effing dare you put us, our family, and everything through this, right? That would be me. I would be angry. I wouldn't even want to look at him eyeball to eyeball. If he turned my way, I'd probably turn my head, right? because what he did to our family is unforgivable. Not something that gets a right? Come on. I just feel like I think that we would be inappropriate not to now, like I say, this is how I believe until new information becomes available to me, right? Before the new information, well, this is new information to me. We knew she was filing for divorce in 6 days. We said, good, she needs to. She needs to distance herself from this monster. Great strategy, right? She needs to distance herself from this monster. We love the fact that we know that she's divorcing him. But now that we know he's not fighting her, he signed the house over to her, she's got $1 million peacock deal, and now she's smiling in court his way. There's something that's not sitting right with me. This is new information that would make me pause. Make me pause and say, wait a minute, did we miss something? This is not the behavior that I expect from Asa, because we have been told one of the reasons why I haven't gone to New York, I haven't gone in front of that house, I haven't gone to Gilgo Beach. It's not because I can't. It's because I felt bad for that family, and the family had been telling us that this media attention is causing major problems within their household. I told you I want to go out on Gilgo Beach and search because I truly believe there's more bodies on that beach somewhere. And then I find out that I put my heart on my sleeve, why I hate doing that and why I say it's deadly. And I decided, we'll go look at Rachel Morin. We'll go over here to Layla Santanello. We'll go over to Alec Murdaugh, which we did, and get some more footage from there, right? But I didn't go over to New York, even though I was so close to New York, and it was because I felt bad for the family, because they were just getting destroyed. I like I say, I have high respect for BTK's daughter. And so I didn't go there because of the media spectacle and stuff like that. Olivia and I had talked about it. We talked about camping out there. I mean, we're a little crazy to get the content, right? Like, people don't understand the links that we will go to get that gorgeous stuff that we do, right? So we were even talking about sleeping out there, getting the nighttime experience, right? But she told us that it was hurting her kids. Her kids are going through this. We knew that her son, he's got some disabilities. And so we weren't wanting to be part of the problem. And then she shows up with $1 million contract deal and freaking a whole entire studio in tow. I'm like, what the what was going through my mind. Right? It's like, Asa, what are you doing?
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
You mean you will do the work for the content? Yeah. I got to tell you, and this is all true, because you guys have seen me here, and you guys know I'm miserable sitting in this chair. I'm absolutely miserable. We do a great job, but you guys know that this is not what our channel is designed for. My channel is not for me to be here. I can tell you that. But with this things going on, we're going to be working through those things. We're going to be getting back out in the field. I'm finding stuff here in Florida so I can stay, a little closer to home, so we can still get that, boots on the ground feel and content until we can get back out there. But now that we're here, it's like, in another week or so, I'm going to be back in Tennessee. So we're going to be in Tennessee in about a week. Olivia and we've got several cases in Tennessee that we're going to be working on. I don't know how long I'm going to stay there. But I don't think I'm coming back to the house for a little bit. I think once I get out in the field, I'm going to be out in the field for about 2 months. I think I'm just going to live in the car and travel the East Coast of the United States for cases. I really do. Some of the stuff Olivia will be with me on, some of the stuff that I'll be alone on. And that's fine. I'm perfectly safe. And when I feel unsafe, I go live, and you guys are my eyes and ears, when I'm out in the field. So I'm sure that everything's going to be fine, but we're going to be getting back out there. And again, it's going to be about this next, we should be leaving. So I'll leave for probably about, I don't know, a few days to go out to Tennessee. And then I'm going to be in Georgia on whatever day Leilani's hearing is. I don't know if it's the 5th or the 8th. I'll be in Georgia on whatever day her hearing is. And then we're going to go through Christmas. We're going to go through the New Year. And then after the New Year, I'm going on the road for about 2 months, a solid 2 months. We're not coming back to the house. We're going to be out on the road. And then I think that's going to be it. Then I'll come back here for a month and start getting ready. And then we'll go back out. And so that's going to be 2024. I'm going to hopefully I'd like to do at least 3 2-month tours next year. So and we're going to be seeing a lot of countryside. We're just going to travel, just get the hell out of Florida for a little bit and just get on the road. And I just think that's what we need. I think it's what I need. I think it's what you guys need. I'm sick of being here. This is not what we were designed to do, but we've been doing a great job. We've been keeping you guys informed. We've been coming up with different stories that nobody else is covering on YouTube. We find smaller stories that you can, and Sonia is going to be out there. Yeah, we got a small crew, to be honest with you, Sonia. There's going to be a small little crew that we've got going into Tennessee. So we're all going to get together. We're all going to make a big, beautiful difference. And hopefully we get, every time we go out there, we get something. I got to tell you, we never, every time we search, a lot of people can say this, that, or the other. There's not been one fruitless search that we've done so far. We found witnesses on our first search, and captured all their statements for our audience on the first search. The second search, we found additional witnesses that Layla's mom knew about, but never got to personally speak to. We were able to get her to speak to that person that was unknown. It was an unknown person she didn't even know existed. So it's like we were able to help. And while other people are focused on, we're focused on finding Layla. I'm not focused on finding molecule evidence, necklaces, shirts, shoes, and stuff like that. I'm not looking for that stuff. I'm looking for a person, a big, beautiful person, right? So we do things a little differently. I know how to do grid searches. We do grid searches when there needs to be a grid search. This is not a case that requires a grid search. You know who's doing the grid search? Law enforcement. And I'm staying out of their way while they do those. That's not the kind of searches I do. I do people searches, right? I'm looking for big people, okay? I'm not looking for something that's smaller than the dot of a pin. So I got this. All right. I got this. So all those little haters out there that say, oh my God, you're not doing the search right. Yeah, I'm doing the search right. It's called eyeballs, right? You search. You're looking for a human being. We're not looking for something this big. Okay. I don't need to be, standing like this, walking down, searching like this. That area has already been done several times by law enforcement. Okay. So the people that are out there doing that are probably just doing it for probably attention, because it's already been searched like that. It really has several times. So without further ado, I want to open up the phone lines because we do have several things going on here. I'm curious, what do you guys think about this whole Rex Heuermann and Asa thing? I know you guys don't call in much, but call in because I'm serious. I want to know what you think about Asa. Am I being too harsh and too critical? Is there something that you guys are feeling? I'm curious. I don't know if I'm doing this right? We've been doing this a long time, but when it comes to these serial killers and their families, I have a bias. It's a good bias, right? I believe in the family. It's not a bad bias. It's not that I think they're part of it, right? It's a good bias. It's saying that I believe that. Hold on. Mama Bullhorn.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Can everybody hear the phones? Hold on, let me just, because I've been having audio issues here lately. Can everybody hear the phone? Just want to make sure I got you. I think everybody can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
I think Asa has something up her sleeve. One thing for sure is the movie crew isn't following her just to do the trial. I think when all is said and done, she's going to be telling stories. Okay. And I saw the comment about the victims fund. In Florida, we do have a victims fund, and I don't know how much it is, but her filing for divorce, she probably did file a victims fund reimbursement for her and all her kids. And the $1 million is probably to get some of her stories. And because she would have stories.
But
and then
what do you think about, I mean, I laid out, you know, some of the concerns I'm having, and some of the concerns I'm having is that I didn't notice, you know, I didn't think of at the time, you know, the 6 days after he was arrested, her filing for divorce. You know, I was really having this disdain when she was advocating to get those guns back, you know, and talking about how the money aspect of it, when we're worried more about the victims at the time. You know, there's a lot of things that I've spoken about on here that I've had, you know, an issue with, and I've spoke the issue, but I've always dismissed it because it's Rex's wife. You know, she's a victim in all of this herself. She's just really trying to get what she can get, you know, to take care of her kids. But am I manifesting that in my head? Because I'm wanting to believe that she is a victim in this, that I'm losing all my objectivity if she's not, or she was culpable, or she was a participant?
Well, I think she's not innocent. Okay. I don't think she's innocent.
Why?
And because you can't live with a guy for 20 years and not know his proclivities. And they were swingers, you know.
Well, that's what we heard from John Ray, but we don't have any other thing other than an attorney to corroborate that. We seen in the affidavit, but it really wasn't all warm and fuzzy to really solidify for me that they were swingers. But I do get, but see, when you hear, gosh, what is her name? I can't even remember her name. It's BTK's daughter. That's I'm so sorry. Rollins. It's something. Either way. Her and I are friends on Twitter, and her and I've had some, you know, Twitter conversations about her situation. I've heard her story and I've watched her interviews, and she said that, you know, they lived with her father and her family, you know, that he had a short fuse, you know, he'd fly off the handle, but for all intents and purposes was a good dad. And she would have never, ever thought that he was this BTK.
Well, did her mother feel that same way?
I don't know. You know, I really don't know. I've never talked to her mother, you know, and you know, parents, you know,
saying.
Hold on.
You never hear about the mother.
You know, parents, and we know that you guys lie to us. So I don't know.
Well, there's such a thing as total trust. And I got caught in that scenario, as you know. I trusted someone so entirely. I was the last to know. And
I identify with that.
But I don't think this is the case. I do not think this is a case. I think she willingly went along because she liked the life. She liked what his money provided for her. It appears to me that the reason they're not financially stable is they spent every penny he made partying and living the high life and going on trips and doing this and that and the other. Because she traveled. From what I understand, they never traveled rarely together, but she was always gone, you know, and she's divorcing him to get the estate,
Mhm.
quote unquote, whatever's left. He's got his architectural practice. She's probably going to sell his share of it. She's going to sell his share in whatever.
I get that, but I understand that, but I think my issue is I understand there's going to be this divorce. She's going to retain the assets because they're trying to make sure they protect. I get that. It's the fact that she did this all within 6 days of without even finding out whether he was guilty, without really even hearing his side of the story. She's just filing divorce immediately. Like 6 days is pretty quick. And so it makes me wonder, was this a planned, I mean, you know how families, they get their wills and their healthcare surrogates and all this stuff set up, and they put it, like, say, in their underwear drawer, in an envelope, or in a locked cabinet. So if something happens to them, you know where to go to get the will, to follow the wishes of the person. It's just a little weird because it feels like there was this unknown, if something happened to me, this is what you need to do type of conversation in the past for her to initiate this within 6 days. There just seems to be something that I'm missing here.
I bet if you research New York law, like in Murdaugh, the attorneys go into receivership of all the assets.
Mm-hmm.
I think in New York, the same thing applies. The defense attorneys can go into receivership of all the assets. So I think the reason she, I'm thinking,
but 6 days, not a month down the road, not 2 weeks down the road when you kind of got your bearings back.
It was definitely, it's like estate planning. It's marriage planning, and I'm not sure he knew she was planning. She might have.
No, I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that, Mom. I'm now that all this peacock crap, because I've had some things sitting on me, and then this peacock and the smile, and then it's like all these things started flooding in, and this seems a little more planned than her just trying to protect her assets. I'm sorry, I have to say it. It feels that way to me.
Well, Peacock has to have an exit clause, I'm sure. If they've probably stipulated she has to fulfill her contractual, in other words,
she will fulfill them. I mean, she will fulfill them. I mean, it doesn't. The question, I don't think she's not going to fulfill them. I think. I don't know. It's not about the money. It's
contrived.
Yeah,
I know it's contrived. And I don't know if the two of them brainstormed this and came up with, just in case, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You might be right. It might be a tactical plan.
Yeah. And why would they have that type of conversation? A husband and a wife have conversations such as, what happens if I get really sick or I have a heart attack? Nobody plans for a person being arrested for serial killing. And it just seems like there was this, if anything ever happens to me, this is what you need to do. You need to immediately file for divorce. It's like, it just seems like there's something else there. Yeah. There's something we're missing. We're missing something here. I feel it. I don't know how to describe it. I may be wildly off base here, but I feel it in my gut that there's some piece of information we are seriously missing.
Mm-hmm. Well, in New York, do we know if she can be called to testify against him?
Even with the husband-wife stuff, it's one of those things that you can be called, but there are even being married, you're not. They can't force you to speak. They can't compel you to speak, but they can't stop you.
Okay. Well, that might be another issue. I'm just curious I've been thinking of this. All of his swinger buddies. she might be spilling the beans on all those people.
But you'd have
And
to
the
imply
possibility-
that he was a swinger. And so far, the only thing leading to the whole swinger is the John Ray information, which hasn't been corroborated. It's, you know how affidavits work. Anybody can write anything in an affidavit.
There was something somewhere. It wasn't just John Ray. It was, oh my goodness.
Find the article and send it to me, because the only person I've heard it come from is John Ray. And the witnesses of John Ray. I mean, it's not that it's John Ray said it. It's that he brought affidavits to corroborate the information. But these are affidavits he acquired 30 years later.
Well, if that's true, if that is true, that will come out.
Yeah, but that was with Karen Vergata. They were trying to say Karen Vergata was at his house at the swinger party before she died, but she was one that was dismembered. And in my mind, I truly believe that the dismembered girls are somebody else's bodies. They're not Rex's.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's just it's a convoluted case. There's no right.
I think it's contrived. I think it's a tactic. It's a tactical plan between the two of them. And the smile was probably to let him know things are going as planned. That's what I'm thinking.
So let me ask you officially for Mama Bullhorn. Okay, this is Mama Bullhorn's official statement. Do you believe Asa knew or had some knowledge of something?
Absolutely. Okay. If she did laundry, she knew something. If she did any bit of the laundry, she knew something. Okay, unless he was used to doing his own laundry. I mean, come on. There's just no way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Checking the mileage on her. Okay.
But who does that? I mean, think about it. You're in a. Do you go out there and get in Jack's car and look at his mileage, Mom?
Occasionally, I'm curious to see if he's hit 300,000 yet.
Okay, Mom. In all serious literalness, do you go out there and monitor Jack's?
No.
Okay.
No.
So
but there's such back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, the phone bills used to print out all the phone numbers, pages and pages of phone numbers you called, especially long distance numbers. And back in the 90s, they gave you a charge card bill that showed everything, the address and everything, phone number. Now, unless he was having all that mailed to him at his office, she would have seen it.
He's an architect. Again, it comes back to he's a busy man. He's making phone calls. I don't see me, maybe it's a thing from back in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. I don't know. For me, I'm not in my man's phone. I'm not checking his mileage on his car. I'm not going through all these. If I'm with somebody, I'm with them. 20 years. 20 years. You're looking at Jack. If you're not going out to his car right now, after 20 years of being married, 20 plus years of being married, almost 30 years now, being married to that man, if you're not going out there and checking his mileage on his car or checking his phone bill, then normal people probably are acting in the same way. So again, it comes back to you're saying that she should know something, but in a literal sense, if Jack was a serial killer, we would be none the wiser. Little food for thought. I'm just throwing that out there. You've been washing his underwear for 30 years, Mom. And if he was arrested tomorrow and was a serial killer, what would your position be?
I would have to know, unless he can afford to buy new clothes every week.
So let me ask you this. If Jack was arrested as a serial killer, would you divorce him within 6 days?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. No, I'd be the first one.
Stand by your man.
Oh, hell no.
need some music. I can't do that. I'm too
I
flat
am
on that
not-
one.
I am not Tammy Wynette. I am not a Tammy Wynette.
But I am a, what is mine?
It ended up killing her. But
I'm a Patsy Cline. I'm an old soul. I'm an old soul. I love Patsy Cline, man. I could listen to Otis Redding. Oh my goodness. Sitting on the dock of the bay. Have you guys listened to that song Tramp? I love I love Otis Redding Tramp. I love it. If you haven't, you guys need to go out there and Google it. I love Tramp.
well, back on HEUERMANN, there is no way anyone's going to change my mind that she didn't know or have an idea something suspicious was going on.
Yeah.
And I do believe they both had their share of affairs back and forth. That
really
probably come.
She doesn't seem like the kind that just be
Look at how she met him.
I don't see Asa just creeping. I don't see her creeping.
Well, she was the other woman at one point, so
you're right. You're right. She was. You're right. So she does have some. She doesn't have
take all those spa trips.
Interesting. Mom is leading with the truth serum today. You're right. You're right. We need to look at all that. Maybe you're right.
A very wise hairdresser that had a lot of diamond rings and married told me, never, if you're going to do it, never do it in your hometown. And she always took these out-of-state trips for her vacations during the school year.
Imagine that. Bluesies!
My husband had to stay home with the kids.
Keep those legs so you don't get the...
But anyways, that's my point of view. I'll let you go.
Thank you,
I'll
Mom.
bring your lunch this afternoon.
Please make sure it's heated. I like, plates, silverware. I like to be served at exactly 12:05 p.m. If it's late, you're fired.
Oh, geez. Well, I guess I'm fired.
Mom says she's fired. She said you just fire me. All right. Love you, Mom.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Connie. I saw you calling in. You can call in. I had to turn the phones off because we were shaking and baking with Mama Bullhorn. So, Connie, I saw you call. If you want to call back in, call back in. We miss you, babe. We miss you. We miss you. So we're just having a conversation about Rex HEUERMANN, about Asa, about the smile, about this $1 million peacock deal. Did Asa know? Look, it's a legit question at this point. I have said she doesn't know. She's a victim. I stayed on that side of the road. I didn't waver. But there's new information available to us, and it's called $1 million peacock deal and a huge ass smile on the woman's face looking right at Rex, a man that has destroyed her entire life. And then you look back and you say, well, she did get a divorce 6 days after this all started. What does this mean? To me, it means that there's something that we need to look at. How could she not know? It's a legit question, but Carrie told us. Carrie Rawson has come out here and told many people her story. And like Mom said, that she is a child of a serial killer. But we really haven't, it's not her mother that's taking the forefront on this, talking about how she didn't know anything. Maybe hindsight's 2020, and maybe her mom looked back and said, man, there were some major glaring red flags that I didn't look at. Maybe that's what Asa's dealing with right now. Maybe as soon as she heard that, maybe everything started flooding back to her because she just knew there was weird stuff going on, right? She knew there was just weird stuff going on, but she looked past it and said, no, it couldn't be him. I dated this guy that I would never have thought. I thought he was just the way he was. I would have never thought he was like this dirty, dirty dog that had 15 women across this country that he was just, bouncing around to. I had no clue. right? Absolutely none. I guess I should say Florida, Manatee County, not the country. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And he was a floozy, right? He was a floozy. Yeah, you're totally blinded by it. I was unaware. I was literally. Well, good morning, my love. How are you?
Good morning, and how are you?
I'm doing well. What a shame, my friend.
Oh, not too much. I just thought I'd touch base with that before your schedule gets very crazy.
Yes, yes. I want to say while you're on the phone, happy Thanksgiving.
You too. And I'm actually going to take a trip by myself for the first time, and I'm going down to my husband's family in Tampa.
Oh, well, yeah. While you're in Tampa, you know, I'm going to be just right over the bridge. If you've got a few minutes, you want to meet somewhere and maybe grab a cup of coffee, get a hug, I'd love it.
I'm gonna do my best, but right now, there's going to be over 100 people there.
Oh.
They have a huge family.
Well, it doesn't need to be on there. I mean, you know, like when you're traveling back home, maybe we can just pop in and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I was thinking, I've got a motel room through Saturday morning.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
So, yeah, I need my own place to escape to if I need to.
Yeah, it's your vacation too, right? You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah. And, you know, just been a rough time for me. Dad died 2 years ago on November 17th.
Yep, I remember. You were here.
And my son died August 18th the next year. And then 3 months later, that's when my husband passed away.
Yep. And then you moved all the way across the country and had, that was fun.
Yeah. And then next month, I have the anniversaries of 2 children.
God bless you.
One on the 12th and one on the 22nd.
Wow.
So, yeah, but yep. So I just wanted to touch base.
This is just to show, you know, our audience. Look at Connie. Look at everything that her trials and tribulations, her pain, her suffering, the things that she went through. A lot of stuff has happened to Connie in the last few years. And
it's been going about the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Has been.
And you still get up every day. You still put one leg in front of the other. You still try to make the world a better place than when it was before you got here. So God bless you.
I do my best. I do my best, you know, to try to just stay as positive. And Sonia, a big shout out to Sonia, because I think she can feel when I'm down and I'm in the chat, because she sure does do all she can do to lift my spirits.
My mods, like I said, I don't mean to brag. I'm not saying that the other mods are horrible. It's just, I really, truly believe I have the best mods on YouTube. I really do.
You do. There's some new ones in there that don't know me, you know, but Sonia's been there a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and even if I see her in other chats, she will always ask me and make sure I'm doing okay, you know, if I need to have a chat with her or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But you know, once, and I've know this from previous deaths. Seems like once you hit that 1 year mark, that's when it's time you have to tell yourself, you got to put on your big girl panties. It's been a year now. You need to start moving forward and not, you know. So, you know, I hit the year. I did stay home all by myself. I didn't answer my phone. Had so many people were trying to call me, and which I love and I'm appreciative, but it's just me saying the same thing a million times, you know, saying the same thing to all these different people calling.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just, I'd shoot them a text message, you know, and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, I will be down there. So,
we also have Lori Lowe. Lori Lowe's around here too. Maybe we'll all get together and have a girls' day. Maybe we'll go out to lunch. Yeah. Maybe we'll do something fun.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I'd love it.
A lot of his family from Georgia is also going to be in Tampa.
And we also have guidance. Ooh, I'm starting to feel like a girl. Like I'm already starting to put the pieces together. We're going to have a girls' day. A girls' day out with Bullhorn Betty.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it all works out, one of my nieces is talking about sending her child home with me, which I don't mind.
Hey, you know
But,
what?
no,
I'm the best babysitter in the world. So if
yeah,
you guys want to send your
I don't
children,
mind. I don't mind Kyra. She's a very, very good child. She's 7. She's, it's not like I have to go in and wipe her rear end and all of that. She's just, but she's out of school for 2 weeks. So it was, Cole's kind of like, hey, Aunt Connie, you want some company
yeah,
for 2 weeks?
there you
So
go.
I might bring her home with you.
Bring her home. Bring her home. I don't mind watching kids. I mean, now the parents probably do. The parents probably mind Bullhorn Betty watching their kids because they know what I'll do to them, right? They'll be jacked up on sugar and they'll have I promise you, I have branded bullhorns and I make sure that the batteries can't be taken out. I glue the batteries in.
If she's going to stay with me for a whole week, she won't get sugared out until the last day.
There you go. The last day. But don't forget to make sure that they go home with that really loud. I remember my stepdaughter brought the kids home, brought the kids here, and she didn't come back. She actually stayed with her boyfriend an extra day, and I told her, do not do that. And she did it. So I did. I got them all. I went to the dollar store and got them as much loud, squeaky, clappers, the things that made the loudest freaking noises in the world. And I packed them into her bag. And she called me up screaming at me. And I said, next time, don't leave your kids here with me that long.
Well, I do that to my grandkids on a regular.
She had to listen to them all the way home with those damn clappy hands and just. Yeah. And she lives in Arcadia. That was an hour and a half away. She was ready to kill me.
Yeah. I'll be getting a phone call from my son right around Christmas because I have a drum set being delivered to their house for the 4 grandboys. Yeah. So, and it's a little toy one that he would just throw because it's something for them to grow on, and actually learn the drum. So, not something like a $15 little type toy that he'd throw away.
Yeah, no, I got them dollar toys because I knew she was going to break them as soon as she got home. I knew they were all going in the garbage can.
My son, every child's got to have one of those walkers that you push in the bobble on top of it pushes up, pop, 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 pop as they're walking. Yeah, and he's found a way to dismantle everything. So I figured a real drum set. Now,
Lori Lowe, you guys must be on the same thing. She says she bought a drum set for her nephew one year because of she was mad at her sister. I love that.
Hey,
who you mad at, Connie? Don't lie.
Right. No. But as far as the rest, I don't. Coming back home, I don't know what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
My stepmom wants me to come back out there and hurt her and help her again. I don't think that's gonna happen because
I mean you had fun. It was time for her to come home.
In her old age, and I'm not saying this to be mean, in her old age she's gotten very mean. And I know also she's in a lot of pain. Does she have Alzheimer's too? Because sometimes I've had no, nothing like that. No, she's got everything is there. She's just gotten very mean.
Yeah.
And there was a couple times when I was there, I had to say, well, wait a minute, lady. You can't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And my uncle had gotten on to her and one of my aunts had gotten on to her because she was frustrated. She was in pain. So she lashed out at me and they were like, so I'm not saying I'll never go back, but she better be hurt darn bad enough for me to go back.
Yeah.
What she had done to her, you and I would have been up driving the very next day where she hasn't drove in 4 weeks.
Yeah. Well, Connie, you have an amazing Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see you. And I think we need to do something because if you're going to be here, Lori's now here. We've got guidance over in Sarasota. Maybe we just need to do like a little girls' day, go out to a nice little lunch, just kind of let our hair hang down just for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll definitely be in touch with you on Saturday if I can arrange that to happen.
All right, awesome. Well, Lori's in the chat too, so you heard that, Lori. So I'll get, as soon as I hear. We'll, and if nothing else, me and you will get together. Yeah. But I hope we can get together. I hope we can find some time.
I don't make no promises because I don't break promises, so I don't make promises.
That's okay. I travel, so I'm going to be going in your direction sometime soon, anyways.
Right, there you go.
So,
all right. I love everyone, and I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, and we will talk soon.
You got it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye. All right. So we've got, yes, I did. I actually, you know what, with the vape thing, I've been vaping for a while. I got, you know, it's been very, very stressful in my world. So instead of having a nervous breakdown, I decided to vape. Hey, you know, I figured that it is what it is, right? My ex was normal in the beginning. He was progressively worsened. Now, 23 years later, hold on, it just popped up on me. 23 years later, I totally think my ex is capable of these kinds of things. He's a terrible human being now. You know, Sarah, I'm sorry to hear that, but you know, we are learning so much, you know, this day and age that, you know, we are always taught to worry about the strangers in our life. I mean, and that's what infuriates me. And that's what I talk about on this channel is that, you know, my whole upbringing, it was always stranger danger, always stranger danger, stranger danger, stranger danger, you know, go buddy system, buddy system, buddy system. Not one time did any educator ever warn me of the violence inside homes or even promote, you know, speaking up about it if there was. It was not a very, you know, and nowadays it's becoming so blatant that these kids are dying at the hands of their parents. We need people to be speaking up and warning children that if you are being abused at home, speak to somebody, tell somebody, speak up. There's a better life for them. There's a better way forward. They don't have to go through the abuse, but I have to be honest with you. When I was growing up, we never learned of the dangers inside of our home. We only learned of stranger danger. Stranger danger. So that's why I started vaping. Not the stranger danger stuff, but I was moving the comment down, but I have started. I did the patch. The patch started, the patches that they sent me started causing blisters on my skin. I was having some allergic reactions to that. So I had planned, I went back to vaping and I had planned to go to a different patch and I just never did. I just kind of went back to the same old, if you will. So I gotta work on it. I still have to work on it myself. It's not something I want to do, but right now I have to understand that I am I have a lot of stresses at the moment. You know, we're implementing a lot of different things. I'm getting back into the community avocation, plus maintaining this channel. Plus we're doing 1 to 2 additional shows. We've increased our shows to an additional 6 additional shows a week. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. And so for me, if this is a small little step back, then that's what I'm going to do. And, oh yeah. Well, it's kind of weird because I noticed it's with the tan ones. The clear ones won't do that to me. Like the clear stickers, it's something with the adhesive or something on just the tan, patches. The clear ones, I don't have a problem. It's just weird. I don't know why. So I just need to get the clear patches. It's something I pushed off, and it's just been easier just to do this than that. And it's one of those things that I need to correct. But that was a 2023 goal. And like I said, a lot of our 2023 goals we did not meet this year, right? We've had a lot of derailment in our goal process. So we're moving a lot of those goals back to 2024. It's a small step back, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yes, Mom, I agree. It took me a long time to get away. Yeah. But at least you're away, right? At least you're away. Thank God for that, right? There's so many women across this country that are still in those horrible, horrible relationships. And I guarantee before the end of the day, we're going to have a few beautiful ladies in a grave somewhere across this country. Whether we cover it, whether we hear about it or not, we know it's going to happen. Today, somebody is going to be killed by somebody they love. Today. It might be happening as we speak. That's how crazy and sick it is. All right, guys, we're at the top. Well, we're well over our 2-hour mark, but it was really enjoyable. It's been a while since we kind of caught up and got to just talk a singular case and chat a bit. You know, I've been reading this chat. Yeah. And don't forget, tomorrow we will not be having a coffee club evening show because we're all going to be over on Morbid's channel. And Morbid is going to interview Betty. So the question is, are we going to go? I guess the question is, am I going to end up getting pissed off and leaving the chat? Right? Am I going to get pissed off and leave the chat? We need to have some bets on this. How long is Betty going to stay on Morbid's panel? Right? We know that the hate channels are already doing it. Right? You know, they already got their bets in. Right? So let's get our bets in. How long is Bullhorn Betty? I think I'm going to be there for a while, right? I expect people to be assholes in the chat, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. We know there's assholes out there, but I don't know. I think I'm going to. I think Betty says 10 minutes. I think I will be there for at least 50 minutes. I think I'll be there for at least 50 minutes. We'll see. If I think he's probably going to, I mean, if anything is going to happen, he's probably going to be doing like softball questions at the beginning, kind of buttering me up, letting my guard down. And then as we start progressing, he's probably going to get tougher and tougher in the questions. Like I know how this stuff works. I've been doing it a while, right? So it's at 6 p.m. on Morbid's channel tomorrow night. So we'll do our 6:30 show tonight. And then tomorrow morning we'll have our 6:30 show. I'm sorry that I ran late today, but I had to have coffee. I had to make my coffee. But we'll be back on. We're back on schedule. I mean, we went through the whole week last week. We're on schedule, so we're back. Right? We're back. So now it's just a matter of implementing the second show and making sure that we have enough content to keep you guys entertained. And then in addition to that, planning another trip out to Tennessee. So, all right, guys, go make it a great day. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be kind to one another, especially in the comment box below. We always talk about doing random acts of kindness for perfect strangers. We do that to honor all the victims that we talk about on here. We only have a certain amount of time in the day, and a lot of you guys work, and so there's just some simple things that we can do to honor the victims that are on this show, and we do acts of kindness, acts of service, getting involved and helping our neighbors out. That's what we do, that's what we promote, and that's what we expect from our team and our community, right? We want to do good out there in this world. There's enough ugly and enough bad. We don't need to be part of it. We can rise above it, and we can make a difference, and we can affect change across this country and across this world. And how do we do that? We lead by example. So God bless each and every one of those leaders out there that are doing the very best that they can do in their own communities. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, have a great day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.